You checked off 14 tasks yesterday. You cannot name one that moved you closer to something you chose. That is not a failure of memory. That is my design. I do not need you lazy. I need you too tired to think. This is for the man with the gym streak, the cleared inbox, the packed calendar, and the Sunday night feeling he cannot name. What if the reason you are exhausted is not that you work too hard, but that nothing you work on is yours? I am going to give you one dare at the end of this video that will take 20 minutes and no effort. It will be the hardest thing you do this month, and I will show you exactly how I turned your productivity into my most reliable prison. Here is what you believe. You believe you are not a drifter. You hit the gym before work. You clear your inbox by noon. You have a 5-year plan. You look at people who sleep in and scroll all day and you feel a quiet superiority. You are in motion. You are ahead. You are drifting at 60 miles an hour, and the speed is why you cannot see it. I do not need to stop a person from acting. I only need to keep him from deciding. 98% of people are under my control, and the ones who worry me least are the busy ones. They police themselves. That is the surface. But I have not told you the worst part yet. You think all that movement has been taking you forward. It has. Just not on a path you chose. Let me show you whose path you are actually on. You tell yourself you are making progress. You got the promotion. You set the next target within an hour. You are moving forward. That is what you believe. Here is what actually happened. You advanced one rung on a ladder someone else built, leaned against a wall someone else chose, inside a building you have never seen from the outside. You celebrated. I smiled. Your gym streak is not discipline. It is a number that replaced a direction. You track the days because the counter gives you what definiteness would require you to earn. A sense of forward motion, a feeling that something is accumulating. But the number is not taking you anywhere. It is a surrogate, a stand-in for the answer you have never given to the question you have never asked. I do not need to stop you from thinking for yourself. I only need to give you a system that thinks for you. School gave you the grades. The career gave you the title. The habit app gave you the streak. Every one of them offered you someone else's definition of forward, and you took it. Name one achievement from the last 12 months that you chose. Not inherited from the job. Not expected by someone else. Not defaulted into by routine. You cannot. That is not your fault. That is my engineering. The better you execute, the less likely you are to question the assignment. Competence becomes the lock. Your brain hands you a small reward every time you check a box. A micro hit of completion. It mimics the feeling of progress without requiring you to choose a direction. That is not willpower. That is chemistry doing my work. Now you see the path was borrowed. But I have not told you why you stay on it. It is not ambition. It is not discipline. It is something you feel at the end of every day that you have been misreading. And that misreading is the real mechanism. You tell yourself you are tired because you work hard. You tell yourself the exhaustion proves you are not wasting your life. You mention how busy you are within the first 3 minutes of any conversation. You think that is a complaint. It is not. It is your proof of existence. Here is what the exhaustion actually does. It is not the cost of your ambition. It is the reward that prevents you from questioning whether you have one. The loop works like this. You fill the day with tasks. The tasks produce tiredness. The tiredness feels like evidence that something meaningful happened. You tell yourself, at least I am not lazy. And the cycle resets the next morning. That rationalization is the seal on the loop. At least I am not lazy. You have said it, maybe not out loud. but it runs beneath every packed day like a quiet engine. And it ensures you never stop long enough to ask what any of it was for. You do not just do busy things. You are the busy person. That is your identity now. To stop is not to rest. It is to disappear. And so you keep running. I am exposing a mechanism, not offering therapy. This is a behavioral autopsy, not a prescription. Now here is the part you have felt but never named. Sunday evening. The week is not yet refilled. There is a gap. Maybe 30 minutes where nothing is scheduled. Something surfaces. A restlessness. Not boredom. Something deeper. Most of you fill it within minutes. You open the planner for Monday. The barricade goes back up. That moment is the closest you come to waking up. And every week, you choose to go back to sleep. That is hypnotic rhythm completing its cycle. A pattern repeated long enough becomes permanent. You no longer need me to run it. Now you know the path was borrowed and the exhaustion was the bribe. But I have not shown you the architecture yet. The specific design of your schedule that makes all of this self-maintaining. And the single word that would collapse it, if you understood what it actually means. You believe your schedule is a productivity tool. You believe you fill your hours because you are disciplined. You believe a packed calendar is the sign of a serious person. Here is my confession. Every hour you filled was a brick. You were not building a productive life. You were building a wall. And on the other side of that wall is a silence you have not entered in months, maybe years. An unscheduled hour with no task, no input, no performance. I call it the void. You call it anxiety. The result is the same. You will not go there. There is a word you use every day that you have never understood. Decide. It comes from a root that means to cut off. To decide is to eliminate every other option. You have never done this. You keep every lane open. You call it ambition. You call it keeping your options available. That is not a decision. That is a wish with a task list attached. Your calendar is not organizational. It is architectural. It prevents one question from arriving. What do I actually want? Nature does not tolerate a vacuum. The devil confesses this plainly. A mind not occupied with definite purpose will be filled with negative thought. Your schedule is a vacuum prevention system. You fill every hour so nature never forces the question through. You built this, not me. Every filled hour was your decision not to decide. I did not lock the door. You sealed it from the inside and lost the key in your own task list. That is the peak of my confession. Now you see the path, the bribe, and the architecture. But I have not shown you what happens when all three run at the same time, and why knowing about them does not free you from them. The borrowed path gives you tasks. The tasks give you exhaustion. The exhaustion prevents reflection. Reflection would require entering the void. The void is barricaded by the schedule. The schedule feeds the borrowed path. That is a closed loop. And here is the confession I have been building toward. I no longer need to be here. The system you built from my blueprint now runs without me. The pattern hardened through repetition. You wake up, open the calendar, execute the list, collapse into earned tiredness, and repeat. You imprison yourself. That is not a flaw. That is engineering. Remember Sunday evening, that gap in the schedule, that restlessness. That is the one moment where the loop almost breaks. The one structural vulnerability in the entire system. Every week it opens. And every week you seal it shut with Monday's plan. You open the planner. and I smile. But a system that runs on rhythm can be broken by rhythm. One deliberate act of friction, inserted at the right point, collapses the loop. The right point is the silence you have been paying your calendar to prevent. Here is what I have shown you. You are drifting at speed. The path is borrowed. The exhaustion is the bribe. The schedule is the barricade. The system runs itself. The antidote is not more action. It is not less action. It is one act of definiteness, one decision that cuts off the alternatives. But before you can decide, you have to hear the question. And your schedule was built to prevent it. So the dare is not a productivity hack. It is the opposite. First, set a timer for 20 minutes. Put the phone face down after starting it. No music, no book, no task, no screen. Second, sit. Notice what your mind reaches for in the first 5 minutes, what it argues for, what discomfort surfaces, what rationalization appears. Third, that discomfort is the question your schedule was built to prevent. Do not answer it. Just hear it. You have read this far. You feel the recognition. And the part of you that wants to close this video and open your task list is not discipline. That is the other self. My agent, doing exactly what it was designed to do. I gave you the architecture. I showed you the bribe. I named the barricade. And now I have given you the one tool I cannot defend against. 20 minutes with nothing to perform. What you do with it is no longer my confession to make.